Welcome back to another video. If you like content like this, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button so we can game that YouTube algorithm which suppresses content like mine in favor of mainstream lies. Okay, walking again in the morning. Probably going to get a lot more of these morning AirPod monologues because my afternoons are slammed with work, which I guess is a good thing. But it's easier for me to get on the condenser, high quality mic in the afternoon. Not so easy in the morning. And I was thinking a lot about what I wanted to talk about today. And I decided I want to talk about, a community that I had recently been introduced to, as well as the subject of that community and what it is that they are mostly into. So this will be a finance-related video. So sorry for those who are looking for something else, but, we do talk about finance and making money and sometimes losing money here. That's right. And I recently got introduced, maybe a few weeks back, to a community on Reddit. Now, Reddit is a cucked and converged website. However, there are still a few subreddits on there that are allowed to exist. And when it comes to finance, I don't think Reddit messes with it, even though the posts here are incredibly rude and sometimes political. But that community is called Wall Street Bets. And what Wall Street Bets is about is, essentially placing bets on Wall Street. And what does that mean? It doesn't exactly mean buying shares, buying stocks, and then waiting for them to go up and selling them. I mean, it kind of does, but that's not what they're about. This community is actually more specifically focused on trading options. Options. They are different than stocks, though they are related to stocks. It's essentially like placing a bet on a share or a stock that you think is either going to go up or go down. You can place a bet on it going down. And I mean, it's gambling. It's more like gambling than actually buying and selling actual stock, because look, if a stock goes down, you can just sit there and let the price be low and buy more. And then when the price comes back up, you can sell it for profit. But an options purchase is a temporary thing. All the options you buy actually expire on a particular date that you choose. So let's just say I wanted to buy DocuSign. I could buy shares of it. I could try to sell the shares when they're expensive, or I could let them go down and try to buy more, or let them go down and take a loss and sell. Or I could do the options trading version of this. I can say, I think DocuSign will go up. I think there's tons of money being pumped into the market, and I think with COVID, people are going to be signing deals over the internet with cloud technology much, much more than they were with paper and pen, because of the nature of the situation we're in. And therefore, I think DocuSign will go up. In fact, I think it will be worth $175 a share by September 18th. I'm willing to take that bet. So what I'm going to do is open up Robinhood or open up Thinkorswim. I still use Robinhood for this stuff. It's just simpler. And I'm going to, instead of buy an actual share, I'm going to buy an option. The option is basically, it's like buying a contract worth of shares or buying a contract to purchase shares. I'm going to be honest. I don't think I could accurately tell you at this stage what an actual option is, what the definition of it is. But let's just say, since I'm recording this video in the morning, I'll put a screenshot of the definition of a stock option in this video right here at this point, so you can actually see, because I don't know what the freaking definition is right now. I could pull out my phone and Google it, but fuck it. I like talking. But yeah, let's just say I take this bet on DocuSign. So I buy one or two options to have that as my position. And then what happens is this. As the price goes up and gets closer to this 175 bet that I'm making, the value of my options goes way up. which at any point I could sell. If the price starts falling, the value of my option goes down. Similar to stocks, you might get nervous and you might want to sell early. But the difference is that a stock does not expire. You will always own a percentage of that company as long as you hold that stock. An option does expire. So if you place a bet and the bet goes wrong, eventually you'll be at a zero. Let's just say you bought an option for $500 and you were wrong and the stock goes in the other direction and then the expiration date hits, you are at $0. You have lost the bet. Just like, by the way, if you were to bet on a sports game, you were going to bet on the New England Patriots to win the 2021 Super Bowl. You put $100 on that game, they lose, they don't make the spread, and then you are basically at $0. You don't get any of that money back. That's what a Wall Street bet is, or a stock options bet. You are basically betting on a game on Wall Street instead of a game on TV. That's what it is. Now, why would you do this over stock trading itself? Like, why wouldn't you just buy a share of DocuSign or SPY? Why wouldn't you just buy the share? The reason is because you're taking the risk you take will actually get you a lot more money if you are correct. So I've only started dabbling in this, but I have turned $300 into $1,500 as of today, and it's been about a week. I took a major risk. I listened to what other people were saying. I literally looked on this website, looked at a comment from a couple people, and made a decision based on the comment, which, by the way, is super risky. A random stranger on the internet is telling you what to buy or what to sell, and you just do it. I mean, that's a leap of faith for sure. It's super risky. And I just happened to get lucky. They were correct. And I have made, I don't know, what's $1,200 extra dollars in a week, which I'm just going to try to reinvest and roll the dice again. I don't actually want to put the $1,200 in my bank. So I don't think I would have made $1,200 super easily on stock trading. And honestly, I don't even want to because I'm a long-term stockholder. But with the options thing, it's basically a short-term game unless you buy an option that expires way in the future. It looks like 60 to 90 days is somewhat of a sweet spot for options trading. Though I did just make $300 yesterday in one day. I bought an option put, which is different. So when it comes to options, you can buy a put or a call. A call means I think this company's price will go up. A put means I think this company's price will go down. I bought a put on SPY, which is the S&P 500 index fund. And I literally, someone said, easy money on Robinhood today. Just put a put for 310, expires Friday the 5th. Just sell it before that day or sell it by end of day. And I think I owned this option for 18 hours and I made $300. Now, of course, in America, that's highly taxable. I think maybe at 45%, something ridiculous. Our short-term gains tax. So, half of that profit I made, I have to pay back to the government later. But I still think it's a pretty interesting way to get into money and get into finance and place some bets. I mean, I'd much rather bet on a company than a sports game because I don't know sports teams for jack. I have a lot of friends who play sports bets. I once actually listened to one. He said it was easy money and he was wrong and the team lost, and I never played the sports betting game again. But my world and what I research and what I know is much more related to tech companies, financial companies that are well known, the stock market, Bitcoin, the things that I talk about in my finance videos. So for me, placing these Wall Street bets has been a lot better so far. I would point you to this subreddit. I will actually link it in this description below, but have a look. It's a funny community. But some people get rich really fast, and other people go completely broke really fast. The trick is to not invest all your money and gamble it. And there are even people who do what's called margin trading, which in my opinion is retarded. It's the highest risk thing you can ever do. And what that is companies like Robinhood or TD Ameritrade will give you a margin account, which means they give you a loan. You are taking out a loan to invest. So if you buy $20,000 worth of options and they expire to zero because your bet was wrong, on a margin account where you borrowed 20,000, your balance will not be zero when it's over. It will be negative 20,000. You will be in debt to the bank. Big, big, big risk. Now, there are people on this community here. I'll try to see if I can dig some screenshots. But there are some very, very lucky people and some very, very unlucky people. I'm seeing like negative 6-figure balances. Like, holy shit, you're now in debt the same as a college student. Like, really, really bad. Like, you've just screwed up your life forever. I would highly recommend you don't mess around with margin accounts, but people are going to do it. On that token, I have seen some amazing wins, dude. There's the guy who, I think he invested 100K and turned it into $2.2 million by buying options in the Norwegian Cruise Line. Literally, Norwegian Cruise Line in the middle of a pandemic when they aren't even really running cruise ships. He made $2.2 million. I will put the screenshot of that here. It's funny because for the last few years, I've been investing in stocks and also in crypto. And honestly, at today's prices for both, they're kind of at a 50-50. Like, I have just as much invested in crypto as I do in stocks in today's USD prices for both. I mean, if we go on a bull run, my crypto is going to skyrocket. I'm going to be very happy. But I will say that I just got into this world of options. It took me a couple days to kind of figure it out. I didn't really understand it. Like, what is a call? What is a put? I didn't understand it at all, but I figured it out for the most part enough. I figured it out enough to make money off of it. I'm still not an expert. And I definitely don't want any of you coming back with a comment like, thanks for the tip, dude. You just made me lose my entire life savings and my family is leaving me. I don't want to hear that. This is high risk shit, guys. Don't just take everything I say as financial advice. But if you've got a couple $100 to mess around with, like you wouldn't cry if you lost it, I would consider taking some gambles. The thing that's big right now, like the meme on this website, is stonks only go up, and investing and buying calls and SPY is free money. And the reason is, unfortunately, keep this in mind, this is not necessarily a good thing, but we have just pumped trillions with a T of dollars into the U.S. economy by printing it, which is major bad news. The only way to offset that for yourself is to invest it in things like the stock market or land or things that appreciate. Like, if you're going to keep your life savings in cash, well, you just took the biggest hit in your savings ever. It might not be reflected in the numbers. Like, for example, if you look at your bank account and your savings account and you see 200K, you see that number, $200,000, I have saved $200,000. Well, it's still going to say $200,000 tomorrow and the next day and last week. But the value of that has gone down significantly because of how inflated the markets are. And the hyperinflation thing is kind of the way we're headed right now. And then, we're also being told deflation might be right around the corner, which will not be a good thing necessarily. Maybe in the beginning it will be nice, but not in the long term. Just be super careful. If you put all your money in the stock market and you watch it get pumped, and then the market crashes from a deflationary period, you're going to be screwed in a completely opposite regard. It kind of goes back to my previous videos, like, don't invest all your money in one type of asset. But I mean, right now what people are doing on Wall Street Bets is they're increasing their portfolios pretty easily because at least for the next few weeks, the market is probably going to keep going up. Like, it actually took a little bit of a hit today. Just happened to take a big hit today, but I'm sure that that'll just correct in the next few days. And we'll see SPY being worth like 315 next week. I can't be certain. I can't predict the future. It's temporary, guys, but that's what a lot of people are doing. They're placing their bets on Wall Street right now and being quick with it. That's why I sold my calls quickly. One of my calls wasn't going to expire until September, mid-September, like in over 3 months from now, but I sold it anyway. Like, I'd rather just sell, make profit, buy back when it's low, sell, make profit, buy back when it's low, as opposed to keeping it and holding it in case the shit goes really sour. Anyway, I think some of you guys who are really knowledgeable on finance will think this is a retarded video and that I'm a rookie. And guess what? I am. I'm a huge rookie when it comes to trading options. But have a look at this subreddit. I would take a look at this subreddit every day for like a couple weeks and kind of see the patterns and see what people are saying. Join their chat rooms. Ask people for their positions. There are people who post on this site like every day or every week who actually have a track record of making money and making other people money. You can follow guys like that. And also, just for the shits, I made a YouTube channel for this subject specifically. I'll link it below, but I mean, I have no subscribers. It's not actually really a thing that I really work on, but it's kind of more like a meme channel. If you want to check it out, I'll link that below. But this community is very interesting, and I think it's going to become even more popular in the next couple of years. I mean, any subreddit on Reddit with over 1 million subscribers is a big deal. So, yeah, have a look, and let me know if this is an interesting topic to you. I mean, it's not exactly what I've been talking about in the last few days. I can't even remember the last time I did a finance-based video. But, yeah, that's just kind of what's on my mind this morning, so I figured I'd talk about it. And with that, you guys have a great day.
Hey, thank you so much for listening or watching the video today. I want to ask you, what kind of things do you want to hear about? You know what we really focus on in this channel? It's about men's education, right? The manly arts, finance, religion, and health and fitness. So if you got any questions around these topics or things that you think might be relatable or that I could bring any fact or opinion on, by all means drop a comment below and feel free to email me at rightofpassage85@gmail.com. Thanks so much. Take care.